problem 5 says the 4 Francos drove 95 miles to San Antonio in 1.5 hours. At this rate, about how long would it take them to drive 190 miles from San Antonio to Houston? So let's set up the rate we know with units, 95 miles in 1.5 hours. I'm going to write that as 1.5. Now we've multiplied and divided decimals and fractions, so you could use that mixed number, change it into an improper fraction. We know how to do all that multiplication and division. I just think it's more straightforward to use the decimal form, but that's totally up to you. We're going to set that rate equal to, we're going to write a proportion by setting that rate equal to the rate that we don't know, but we do know that they're going to travel 190 miles, and we know because of the placement of our units that goes in the numerator, and the amount of time that will take them is our unknown x. Now you may see that you can multiply by 2 here. 95 times 2 equals 190, and 1.5 times 2 equals 3, so 3 hours will be the answer, but let's pretend we didn't see that, and let's use bat and ball. 190 times 1.5 is the bat. We're going to divide by the ball, which is 95. So our equation will be multiply the bat, 190 times 1.5, divide by the ball, divided by 95. 190 times 1.5, we're multiplying decimals, ignore the decimal. 9 times 5 is 45, carry the 4, 1 times 5 is 5 plus 4 is 9. We're in the tens place to start with the 0, 0 times 1 is 0, 9 times 1 is 9, 1 times 1 is 1. Adding, we get 2850, but we have to place our decimal. We have 0 decimal places there, 1 decimal place there, so I need 1 decimal place in my answer, and there it is. So 190 times 1.5 is 285. Divide that by 95. How many 95s are in 285? Exactly 3. So x equals 3 hours. That's our answer. Rebecca can buy, number 6 says, Rebecca can buy 2 Wii games for $59.98. Which equation could Rebecca use to find n, the number of Wii games that she can buy for $200? So I would recommend on a problem like this where you're given 4 answer choices, 4 proportions, and you're asked to find which one is set up correctly, that you, instead of focusing on the answer choices, you write your own proportion and just see which one matches. So the rate that we know is 2 games for $59.98 equals, we don't know how many games, so n divided by or over $200. So there's our proportion. And looking at the answer choices, the proportion that matches is answer choice B. Now you could run into a problem with a problem like this. You may have set up your rates like this. You may have set up your rate as $59.98 for 2 games is equivalent to $200 for n games, some unknown number of games. In this case, we've still set up the proportion correctly, but it's going to be more difficult to see which one of the answer choices matches. So you may either recognize that all the answer choices are comparing games to dollars, or you may just look at bat and ball. Which of these answer choices has equivalent bat and ball to your proportion setup? And in that case, it's still answer choice B, 2 times 200 divided by $59.98. Okay, problem 7. Label the following as a unit rate or a rate. So we need to understand the difference between a rate and a unit rate to answer these properly. The first statement says, during exercise, Caden's heart beats 675 times in 5 minutes. So let's set up that rate. 675 beats in 5 minutes. We're comparing heartbeats to minutes, that's why it's a rate and not a ratio. But it's not a unit rate because we haven't written it as beats per 1 minute or per minute. So since it's 675 beats per 5 minutes, that's just a rate. The next statement says, on a recent vacation I traveled 48 miles per hour. 48 miles per hour would be 1 hour. It's a rate because we're comparing miles to hours, different units, but since we're comparing it to 1 hour, it's more specifically a unit rate. If it's per 1 of something, that's a unit rate.